and to direct for its publication as required by law.
So move, Your Honor.
Moved by Diane,
Second.
second by Mark. Discussion. Diane?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Bob Bynum?
Aye.
And Osama? Aye. Motion carries 6-0. Presented for council's consideration is the final reading of an ordinance vacating an alley right-of-way remnant to TLW Corporation. A request has been submitted on behalf of TLW Corporation to vacate, sell, and transfer an alley remnant located adjacent to the property they own that is generally bounded by Main, Pearl, Liberty, and Mill Streets. The corporation owns all of the real estate, including the remainder of the vacated alley right-of-way. They are now requesting that the remaining alley right-of-way be vacated, sold, and transferred to them for future use. The Planning and Zoning Commission is recommending the approval of the request as submitted. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance on final reading and to direct for its publication as required by law?
So moved, Your Honor.
Moved by Scott,
Second.
second by Osama. Discussion. Scott?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Bob Bynum?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And Mark?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Presented for City Council's consideration is the first reading of an ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 4 pertaining to wards and precincts boundary descriptions. In July 2011, City Council adopted the new ward and precinct boundaries to reflect changes in the population reported in the 2010 census. On August 3, 2011, the state notified the city that the wards and precincts adopted in July were deficient for the following two reasons. Item number 1, precinct boundaries improperly split a number of census blocks located within the Mississippi River and the Muscatine Slough. The state mandates that census blocks be kept whole within a single precinct. The lack of an agreement with Muscatine County to create a joint/county voting precinct that would cover the area located south of US 61 and west of Solomon Avenue that was annexed to the city on June 2, 2011. The state requires an agreement between the city and county to create a joint city/county precinct. These deficiencies must be corrected by September 1, 2011. Therefore, it will be necessary for City Council to take action to waive the rules and adopt the ordinance on final reading. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance on final reading and to direct for its publication as required by law?
So moved.
Moved by Mark,
Second, Your Honor.
second by Phil. Discussion?
Your Honor, I do have one question.
Yes.
The question is that it's my understanding that the county did not agree with our precinct split-ups. Is that correct?
No, Steve Boca can address the question, but this is the information that came back from the state of Iowa.
Yeah, this county had no objection to our alignment. This is more of a correctional thing from the state to align the census tracts with the new precincts. It doesn't really have any effect on the county at all whatsoever.
Except for the one precincts which would be at.
Well, that'll be subject to the next item we'll be dealing with, but as far as this initial change in the ordinance, that's editorial. We're putting actually pieces of precincts in part of the Mississippi River where we wouldn't normally consider it, but that's what the state wants, so it's balanced with the new census tracts, and that's really the impetus behind this.
Does the county have any say-so?
They do not. They had a right of review, they've had that. They do not have any right.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions or comments? Anyone? Mark?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Bob Bynum?
Aye.
And Diane?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving a memorandum of agreement with Muscatine County to create a combined city/county Sweetland precinct. On June 2, 2011, City Council approved a voluntary annexation of 62.05 acres of agricultural property that caused the splitting of a census block between the city and unincorporated Muscatine County. In the July 2011 City Council adopted a new precinct and ward boundaries to reflect the changes in population reported in the 2010 census. On August 3, 2011, the state notified the city and Muscatine County that an agreement is required between both parties to create a joint/county voting precinct that would cover the newly annexed area. This agreement must be signed before the state will accept the new ward and precinct boundaries. The deadline for submitting this agreement to the state is September 1st, 2011. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So move, Your Honor.
Moved by Diane,
Second, Your Honor.
second by Scott. Discussion? Diane?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
And Bob?
Aye.
And Osama?
Aye.
That motion carries 6-0. This voice vote, Franny, what did that mean? That's not a new one. That's
No, it's
just a voice
it's just-
vote.
Right, it's not a resolution.
Presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve the installation of parking stalls on Sheridan Street for 801 Park Avenue. A request has been received from Efren Sanchez, owner of 801 Park Avenue, to install 2 designated handicap parking spaces on the Sheridan Street side of his property. In September 2008, the City Council approved a policy establishing a uniform method for approving/disapproving requests for handicap parking stalls in the residential areas. Council, is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Who was that, Mark?
Second, Your Honor.
Second by Scott. Discussion? Mark?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Bob Bynum?
Aye.
And Diane?
Aye.
That motion carries 6-0. I decided that I felt a roll
You're the
call would be
mayor,
much
Mayor.
better.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay. Presented for the City Council's consideration is a resolution authorizing the sale and transfer of city property to TLW Corporation. Earlier in the meeting, City Council adopted the final reading of an ordinance vacating an alley remnant located adjacent to property owned by the TLW Corporation, that is generally bounded by Main, Pearl, Liberty, and Mill Streets. Adoption of that ordinance allows for the sale and transfer of the vacated property to TLW Corporation, who owns all the real estate, including the remainder of the vacated alley right-of-way. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So move, Your Honor.
Moved by Scott. I need a second.
Diane. Oh, Scott moved it, I'll second it then. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
That's quite all right. Questions or comments, council? Scott?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
Bob Bynum?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
And Phil.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving an executed deed to TLW Corporation. City Council previously took action to authorize the sale of property to the TLW Corporation, and it is now necessary to approve the executed deed. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Moved by Phil,
Second.
second by Mark. Discussion? Phil?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Bob Bynum?
Aye.
Diane?
Aye.
And Osama.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution approving the contract and bond for the Second Street parking lot improvements. On August 4, 2011, City Council accepted the low bid for this project from Higher Construction in the amount of $40,506.20. At this time, staff is recommending City Council approve the contract and bond for this project. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Moved by Diane,
Second, Your Honor.
second by Scott. Discussion? Diane?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
And Bob Bynum.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution authorizing the demolition of property located at 1012 East 3rd Street. City staff has been dealing with nuisance complaints for a number of years at this location. The structure is in complete disrepair and poses a serious hazard risk. Well, we need a, where is it? We need a,
I'll move the approval.
you're going to move the approval, but I can't even find where we're going here.
Okay.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution? Okay, I'm back now.
Okay.
All right, by Phil.
Yes.
All right.
Second.
Second?
Mark.
Mark? Discussion?
I would like to address the.
Yes, ma'am.
My husband and I are the owners of that property. And I have spoke numerous times to Mr. Rogers, asking him what we could do to shore up that house till we could get it cleared out, and then we would take it down. He explained to me there was no time, we had to take it down immediately, but the city would take over that property and do the demolition theirself if I wanted to sign it over. I am not signing that property over to the city. I do plan to take that property down, but it cannot be done within the time he does. Yes, we have had numerous complaints over 37 years, and we have always complied to the best of our ability. Now, I would like to ask the council to give us at least 2 or 3 months to get that finished. We will board up that side. There is one side of the building that is coming apart. We have no problem with that. But when I asked what we could do we don't want to save that house. That house needs to come down. We understand that. But I would like to ask the council for extra time.
Okay. Thank you very much. Council, you have any questions for these folks?
Why 3 to
Paul
4
and Kenny
months?
here.
I'm just asking. Why 3 to 4 months? Why not?
We have to.
Full of
Or we-
stuff.
Yeah, we use
Storage.
that as a storage. We own that whole property. We own 3 lots. And that was our old house. We used it for storage. We are taking the stuff now out of the house over to our country home. But it will take some time. Then it's got to be come down. It cannot be burnt because it's an old house And they say